So this is the basic formula to be revised. Before I go for this topic, inequalities, absolute values, and also I'll consider equations. When it comes to the equations, we have different types of equations like linear equation, quadratic equations. Even in the linear, we have single variable, double variable, triple variable, simultaneous equations, etc. So we have different types of equations, right? So let's start with the polynomial. Here I'm taking the polynomial of single variable. So maybe the variable is only one, but you can see there are many constant here. So ax power n plus bx power n minus 1, etc. So obviously these are the constant a, b, c, d, etc. So two things we need to understand here. One is order of polynomial. Ordered. What is order? Highest power of variable is called order of polynomial. Highest power of variable. So here what is the highest power? N. So order of polynomial is n. Second point is nth order polynomial will have n roots. Nth order polynomial will have n roots. Means if the number of polynomial, if the order of polynomial is n, the number of roots be n. What do you mean by roots? What do you mean by roots? Roots means the value of variable which satisfy the equation. Value of variable. So in the first case, what is the order of polynomial here? 1.
1.
You're supposed to get only one roots. X is equal to minus b by a. Here order of polynomial is 2. You're supposed to get 2 roots. Am I right? We'll discuss how to find the roots. You're supposed to get 2 roots. And here order of polynomial is 3. So we're supposed to get 3 roots. Or we can say we're supposed to get 2 solutions. And here we're supposed to get 3 solutions. So number of roots is nothing but number of solutions. Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. I'm going to ask extremely easy question. Why I'm asking, often I could see students get confused. X is equals to root 9. So can you tell me, I'm giving 2 options to you, A, B. X is equal to 3. Option B is X is equal to plus 3, X is equal to minus 3. Which option you're going to choose, A or B?
A. A.
Okay. I'm not revealing the answer. You might be right, might be wrong. Now I'm taking another example, x square equal to 36. And again, I'm giving 2 options, A and B. X is equal to 6 and x is equal to plus 6, x is equal to minus 6. A or B?
B.
Now I'll reveal the answer. Congratulations, both cases you got right answer. Now tell me why you choose A in first and B in second.
Because you can't have a negative number from a root. So from a root for case A, and in the other case you can have a positive or a negative number and you will obtain 36.
You gave right answer, but I believe you can give simpler answer. Here the order of polynomial is 1. It's something like this can be written as x power 1 minus square root of 9 is equal to 0. So here order of polynomial is 1. So we get only one solution. And here this is x square minus 36 is equal to 0. Here order of polynomial is 2. So we'll get 2 solutions. Now, we can make a note, square root of any positive number always positive. Square root of any positive number cannot be negative. Square root of any negative number is called imaginary number. Imaginary number. Okay.
Yes.
I've given lots of information. Shall I close this?
Yes.
Now, we will see how to solve the quadratic equations. You can see the order of polynomial is 2 here. So you're supposed to get 2 root, and here I have written the root. You can write the roots separately. X1 is equals to minus b by 2a plus under root b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Other root x2 is equals to minus b by 2a. Everything same. You can use here positive, so here negative sign.
Right.
These are the 2 roots to solve the quadratic equations. Before I proceed, let me take one simple example. If I say x square minus 7x plus 6, not 6, take some bigger number, or even we can take 6 also, there is nothing problem. Take 6, what is that? Equals to 0. Can you get the value of 2 values of x?
Yes. One should be 6, and the other one 1.
So did you use this formula or factorization method?
Yes.
Which one?
The first one.
Factorization.
For the first one, I had answer 12, and for the second one,
No. Frederick, I'm not asking that. I'm asking to solve this one. Did you use this formula? That's my question.
yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to tell there is another way to calculate this one without using this formula. That is called factorization. That is called factorization method. In factorization method, what we do is, you see the equation, it's look like this. Here you have to think 2 number whose either sum or difference should be minus 7, and product should be the product of constant term to the coefficient of x square. Means you have to think 2 number where sum or difference should be minus 7, and the product should be 1 into 6, which is 6. So can you think 2 number whose sum or difference be minus 7 and product be plus 6? And the possible numbers are a is equal to minus 6 and b is equal to minus 1. Now see, minus 1 plus minus 6 is minus 7. And minus 1 into minus 6 is plus 6. Why I'm doing this one, we can split here. So this can be written as x square. Minus 7x can be written as minus x minus 6x. Still, this is minus 7x. Plus 6 is equals to 0. From here, you can take x common, so this is x minus 1. From here, minus 6 common, so this is x minus 1 is equal to 0. X minus 1 here and here, we can take it out. So x minus 6 is equals to 0. Now the product of 2 number is 0. So this could be, if x minus 1 is equal to 0, this implies x is equal to 1. If x minus 6 is equal to 0, so this implies x is equal to 6. So, I mean, you can use this one or you can use this one. So you got 2 choice.
Okay.
I'm sure you knew this before.
Yes, the first one, yes.
You knew that, right? Good. Now, whether you calculate in case of formula, whether you calculate first root or second root, both cases you need to calculate the value of b square minus 4ac. This is called discriminant. I'll show you in the next page. Yes. So this term b square minus 4ac is called discriminant. And by knowing the value of discriminant, we can predict the nature of roots. By knowing the value of discriminant, we can predict the nature of roots. I don't know, did I tell all this thing or not? So when I say discriminant, d is greater than 0. So we are getting two real roots. What is the meaning of two real roots? If you sketch this, the graph of f of x is equals to ax square plus bx plus c, which is nothing but quadratic equations. This also can be written as y is equals to. If you try to plot the graph of this, you'll be getting the parabola. What is the graphical presentation of this one? Parabola. Graphical presentation. Is parabola. Do you have any idea about parabola?
Yes.
So graphical presentation of this be the parabola. And if A is positive, so parabola will goes up. So here we are getting, if b square minus 4ac greater than 0, you'll get two real roots. Like in our example, what we have example taken immediately, if you remember, it was x square minus 7x plus 6. Let us say this is the case, okay? So here if you see what is the d, discriminant d is b square minus 4ac, and b is minus 7 whole square minus 4, a is 1, c is 6. This is 49 minus 24, right?
Yes.
Which is 25, which is greater than 0. So it's satisfying the condition greater than 0. So we're supposed to get two roots, and roots is what? You remember we already saw. So x is equals to 1. It means wherever it cuts x axis, this is x is equal to 1, and this is x is equal to 6. When discriminant is greater than 0, then we get two roots. And the meaning of this one is the parabola going to cut x-axis at 2 points. One is x is equal to 1 for this particular example, and x is equal to 6.
Right.
So let me generalize this. Let us not go with particular numbers. Let me generalize this. So you'll be getting two roots. One is x is equal to x1 here, and here x is equal to x2. You'll get two roots. Frederick, by looking this function, f of x is equals to ax square plus bx plus c. What is the maximum value of this function? You can see it goes up to plus infinity, right?
Yes.
So maximum value of function is nothing but maximum value of y coordinate. So what is f of x max if a is greater than 0? That is plus infinity.
Right.
And what could be the minimum? You can see there is a point from where it is taking U-turn. Graph is coming down, 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 reach to the bottom. From here is taken U-turn. And this point is called vertex. This point is called vertex. And the coordinate of vertex is minus b by 2a. This is x coordinate. And y coordinate is 4ac minus b square by 4a. This is the y coordinate.
Right.
And y coordinate is going to be the minimum value of this function. So what is f of x min? That is 4ac minus b square divided by 4a. 4ac minus b square by 4a. Because from here is taking U-turn. So the lowest value of parabola is this. It's not going below that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this line which divides the parabola into two parts, you know, it's like symmetric. This is known as axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. An equation of axis of symmetry, x is equal to minus b by 2a, this coordinate. Because this distance from here to here is axis of symmetry, this distance.
Right.
This is minus b by 2a. Frederick, is this clear?
Yeah.
I'm talking little advanced level. Now the same thing if I take in the reverse way. Same thing if I take in the reverse way. What? Let us say f of x is equals to ax square plus bx plus c. Here I take a is negative. When you take a is negative, then parabola will opens down, not opens up. Then parabola will be something like this. I don't know from where is passing, could be like this.
Right.
Again, you can see here x is equal to x1. Here x is equal to x2. Two places cuts, and this be the axis of symmetry. Now this is the top point. This is called vertex, like previous case. And the coordinate of vertex be, x coordinate be minus b by 2a, and y coordinate be same, 4ac minus b square by 4a. So can you tell in this case what is f of x max and what is f of x min?
Max is, sorry, minimum is minus infinity.
Correct. Max is
Minus, sorry, is 4ac minus b squared.
correct. Thumbs up. 4ac minus b square by 4a. Because still the y coordinate is going to be the maximum here. And what is the equation of axis of symmetry? This is axis of symmetry, right? Axis of symmetry. Same, x is equal to minus b by 2a.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Now I'm going with the second case. When b square minus 4ac is equals to 0. Means discriminant is 0. When discriminant is 0, you'll be getting only one real roots. It means the parabola is going to cut x-axis at single point. Like this. Cuts at single point. And it also depends on the value of a. If it is positive, it's going up. If it is negative, it's going down. But both cases, it cuts x-axis at single point when the value of discriminant is 0.
Mm-hmm.
One roots because we are getting only one solution. We're getting only one solution. Could be this or this, we don't know. Now we'll go to the third case. When discriminant is negative, no real roots. It means parabola is not going to cut x-axis at all. How is possible?
Mm.
It is possible. See here. It's not cutting x-axis. It's not cutting x-axis.
Right.
So let me assume you are expert in the quadratic equation.
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll come to this point we already discussed. Yeah. Now we'll come to the little more about the solutions, this point. If y is equals to any quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0, quadratic equation given ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, we said what is the roots, first roots, x1 is minus b by 2a plus under root b square minus 4ac by 2a. What is x2? Minus b by 2a, same thing in the negative, b square
Right.
minus 4ac by 2a. So there are two special cases. Number one, sum of roots or sum of solutions, that is minus b by a. Product of solutions or product of roots. Means if you add these two, you'll be getting this one. And if you multiply these two, you'll be getting this one. That's what he's trying to say.
Okay. Okay.
Last point before I go to the linear equation. Here I said if the equation given, how to solve the equation and get the value of roots. Let roots are given. Let roots are p and q. Anything, alpha, beta, p, q. Then what is equation? Then equation would be general formula x square minus sum of roots into x plus product of root is equals to 0. Frederick, you remember when I asked a question, x square minus 7x plus 6 is equal to 0. And you remember you got the roots 1 and 6.
Yeah.
Here
Yeah.
equation was given, you got the roots. Now let me take the same thing in the reverse way. If roots of quadratic equations are 1, 6. Tell me equation. What is equation?
It would be
X square minus
x square minus
sum of roots, means you can see p plus q. So 1 plus 6 into x plus 1 into 6. Is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
So it means when equation given, we can find the roots. When roots given, we can find the equation.
Right. Okay.
Now we are going for the linear equation. This is also very important concept, linear equation. First of all, what is linear equation? We can write one-line definition for the linear equation. An equation in which highest power of variable is 1. Repeat. Linear equation. An equation in which highest power of variable is 1 is called linear equation. See, variables could be 1 in the given equation. Variables could be more than 1, it doesn't matter. But the highest power of variable be 1. Let me write few example to understand. Ax plus b is equal to 0. Highest power of variable is 1. Linear equation. Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. Although we get two variable, but the highest power of variable is 1. So linear equation. Right? Similarly, if I say ax plus by plus cz plus d is equal to 0. This is also linear equation. Although we have the number of variables more than 1. Here we have 3. So linear equation. Today's focus be more on linear equations of two variables. Let us say one equation is given a1x, b1y plus c1 is equals to 0. This is one equation. And if you plot this, Frederick, then what is going to be? It is going to be the straight line. Like when we plot the quadratic equation, it is parabola. When you plot the linear equation, you'll be getting straight line. Remember, like coordinate geometry, we already discussed. So this is the equation of straight line. So this is something like ax plus by plus c is equals to 0. So this is, I took the equation 1. Other equation is a2x plus b2y plus c2 is equals to 0. Right?
Yes.
Now, when I'm going to solve these two linear equations, but before I solve, I can say one thing. When you take the linear equation, there are 3 conditions. When you take two straight lines, there are 3 conditions. I'll write condition one by one. This could be one line intersect other line. When one line intersect other line, you will see there is only one common point between these two. In other words, if you solve this linear equation, you will get one solution.
Right.
And in other case, parallel lines. Parallel lines. You see the parallel lines like this. Parallel line never cuts. So how many common solution? Common point? No common point. In other words, this is no solution. This pair of lines has no solution. And the third scenario, line could be coincident, means one line lies on other line.
Right.
So how many common points we have?
Infinite.
Infinite. So in other way, this is the infinite many solutions. So in this case, we are going to get infinite many solutions, right?
Yes.
Good. Now come to this. I'm going to take one by one. The first case I'm assuming here is intersecting lines. You can see this is one line, this is other line, these two intersect here. So you'll get only one solution. Yes. Am I talking something which is very tough? No.
No.
Okay. So these two lines intersect here, so we'll get only one solution. Without solving equation, how to know they are intersecting line or how to know they are going to give only one solution? This is the condition. A1 by A2 should not be equal to B1 by B2.
Okay.
In this case, if you see here, what is A1? 1 by 3, which is not equal to minus 4 by 2. It means when you solve this two linear equation, you will get only one solution. And Frederick is going to solve this one and going to tell me the value of X and Y. Frederick, start.
Okay.
Solve this two linear equation and tell me what are the value of X and Y.
Okay.
I'm sure you know how to solve the linear equations.
The point, right?
You tell the value of X and value of Y.
Well, X is 4.
And Y?
2.
Let us say you are right. So you need to put this, the given equation. If they satisfy, you are right. I put X is equal to 4 minus Y is equal to 2.
No.
Is it 0?
No.
Then you are not right.
No, I think I make a mistake here. Is X2.
Y?
Sorry, X minus 2 and Y is 3.
This time looks correct. Let's check. X is minus 2 and Y is 3. Put here minus 2 and 4 into 3 plus 14. Both has to satisfy. First one is satisfying. X is minus 2. So 3 into minus 2 plus 4 into 3 minus 14 is equal to 0. Are we getting 0?
Oh, they are not.
Don't know. Yeah, we are not getting. So
No.
3 into minus 2 is minus 6. 4 into 3 is 12. Minus 14. Is it 0? No, it's not 0. Frederick, don't worry. First, I'll tell you how to solve the linear equation. To solve this one, what we do is we try to equate the coefficient of one of the variable. You can see here we have minus 4, here we have plus 2. If I multiply this by 2, so what is going to be? 6x plus 4y I'm multiplying by 2. 6x plus 4y, send right side, is equals to 28.
Yes.
And this one is x minus 4y is equals to minus 14. Am I right? Just add these two. So this gets cancelled. I just wanted that. So 7x is equals to 14. So x is equal to 2 is correct. No, you got minus 2. X is equal to 2 is correct. Now put this value in one of the equation. you'll get the value of y. Let us say I put here x minus 4y plus 14 is equal to 0. Put x is equal to 2. So 2 minus 4y plus 14 is equal to 0. I think I'm getting y is equal to 4y is equals to 16. So y is equal to 4. I got x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 4.
Right.
Now you verify. Is it satisfying both equations? Please verify. I'm saying please verify. Is it satisfying both equations?
Yes, it verifies.
Okay. Next one is the coincident line. Means one line sitting on other line. So there are infinite many solutions. One line sitting on other line. So other line is not visible. This is one line. Other line is on the line. So how many common points we have? We have infinite common points. And the condition is this. Please make a note of condition quick.
Yes.
You want me to solve or you can solve this one?
Let me check.
So that tell me the solutions of this.
Okay.
To solve this one, you have to equate the coefficient of one of the variables. Which one you want to equate? X or Y?
Y.
You can equate any, even you can equate X also. Let us say equate Y, what you are saying. So this is multiplied by 3, this is multiplied by 2. If you multiply by 3, this is going to be 6x plus 12y is equals to 48. This is multiplied by 2, 6x plus 12y. Oh, you see what happened? Everything cut.
Right.
In fact, both are same equation. Am I right?
Yes.
It means you have only one equation. Both are same equation means you have only one equation. You have one equation and two variable, so this cannot be solved. You have to, it cannot be solved by going traditional way. You can solve by using plug-in method. So let's come to the, both are, either you pick this or this, both are same. So let me take the first one, 2x plus 4y is equals to 16 divided by 2, x plus 2y is equals to 8. So what is x? 8 minus 2y. Now I'm going to create a table and you'll get infinite solution. This is x, this is y. If I put y in this, if I put y is equal to 0, what is x?
8.
1,
6.
2,
4.
3,
2.
4,
0.
minus 1.
10.
So keep putting infinite values. You'll keep getting infinite values. So this is called infinite many solution, or this is also called coincident line. And this also can be called, these two lines will have infinite common points. And I'm sure this is very clear to you.
Yes.
This, let me not speak. You just try by own. Just think you are reading the book. Anything not clear, I'm here to support you.
Yes, I have an equation. Inequality.
No, first of all, the condition is this: A1 by A2 equals to B1 by B2, not equal to C1 by C2. And these two lines are parallel. And when lines are parallel, there is no common point. So you will not get any solution. You will not get any common point between them. Let's check. I will show you why this is not. Previous case like them, you just multiply it by here 8, here 4. So equating this, just multiply by 2. So this is 4x plus 8y is equals to 12. And this keep as it is. 4x plus 8y is equals to 18. Subtract, cut. So this is 0 is equal to minus 6, which is meaningless. Doesn't make any sense. Does not make sense. It means you are not going to get any values for x which satisfy both equations. I repeat, you are not going to get any value for x and y which satisfy both equations. Individually, they might satisfy, but as a whole, as together, you will not get any value which satisfy both equations. Is that clear?
Yes.
So I'm done with this theory part. Now we will try few problems, okay?